to bumper, we love them old cars.
Okay, John, g'day and welcome to Bumper. How you going?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good. Now, we're looking at a 57 Chev Bel Air. My ideal car, I've said probably many times in the show, is a 57 Chevy Bel Air. So I'm drooling at the moment. Tell me a little bit about your car, buddy.
The car's been on the road for just a couple of weeks now, but I've had it for 27 years. I bought it in 1986 with the intention of it being my road car. But,
okay, in 86, yeah, okay.
We were all doing the rockabilly thing back then, so it was the ideal car for that. And when I took delivery of it from the US, I needed to convert it, obviously, which was the first job done. But then I realised that the car really wants a proper restoration and decided to take it back to original specification. And it's been an on and off project since then.
All right. Now, in 86 you bought the car. You've only just finished it there. The rest of it hasn't been there 28 years or whatever it has been, has it? No,
there's been some start and stop along the way. The grown-up things in life need to take priority, so it spent some years sitting around doing nothing.
All right.
And we picked it up a couple of years ago. About 3 years ago we started
the real. Okay, let's say it's taken 3 years to actually do the resto.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, if you're in Motorclassica and your car's here, is this concourse or not concourse? I'm not quite sure.
No, this is entered in the concourse.
Right. Well, that must mean it must be a very smick job, and it looks very nice.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, the brief of the project was to restore it to the way it was when it came out of the dealer's showroom back in 1957. So everything has been brought back to original specification as much as was possible.
All right. What was the car, first of all, like when you first got it in 86?
There was no drivetrain in it, so the only drive I had of it back then was rolling it off the back of a trailer. And then
getting all your mates to push it.
Yeah, well, it took a little bit of a push, but that was the only drive I had really.
Yeah.
And so it had been a Saturday night special, been messed around with and still in good shape, but it certainly wasn't original. But it was a good solid car to start with, so minimal rust and straight panels and everything that you'd want for a project like that.
All right, so what did you do with the drivetrain? What did you pick up? The engine, gearbox and all that? Where from and how?
Yeah, it's got an original power pack set up for it, and it actually came out of a 56 Chevy that had come into Australia a few years later. And so it's a 283, 220 horsepower with a 4-barrel carb and the rest of the bits and pieces that go with that.
All right. Now, did you do any of the work on the restoration yourself?
Yes, I didn't really know much about restoring cars when I started, but I can say I know a lot more about it now. And I did a lot of the work with friends and had the use of various workshops around the place to finish it off in various stages.
Oh, sorry to cut in. Now, how did you know what spec to get it back to for a 57 Chevy then? How did you get that information to help you restore the car back to concourse?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's become increasingly easy with the age of internet upon us. And when we first started the project, a friend of mine and I was heavily involved with it. We were referring to factory documentation and books and information like that. All of the information was there because there have been enthusiasts' cars in the US for some time now. So the restoration of them in America had been a popular pastime for some decades by the time I got stuck into it. So the information was there. But now it's all available through forums and all sorts of other websites as well.
Yeah, the web has certainly made it a very smaller world to get a lot of information.
Yeah, and now if I'm missing a part, find it, order it, deliver it, and a few days later it's there.
Because there's probably a resurgence of 57 Chevys and make some aftermarket parts from the US as well.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of restoration manufacture happening, and every month there's more and more available. So 27 years ago when I started the project, there were some things that were just impossible to get and you had to be happy with what you had, but now much more of it's being remade and most of it's good. Some of it's not so good, but most of it's good and makes life a lot easier.
All right, John, well, look, I want to say thank you very much for being on Bumper to Bumper. You're making me drool over your 57. I'm very envious, but well done, and it's a beautiful car.
Thank you very much, Rusty.
Okay, thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.